Anyways, so you said that your explanation for tides is going to be whatever the explanation that science traditionally says. So you're going to invoke a gravitational influence for that. So what you accept makes it not possible for the Earth to be flat. An object that big cannot be flat. Gravity will always crush it into a ball. The minimum size for an object, where its mass always makes it go to a sphere is only a few hundred miles wide. If I remember correctly, it's really not that big. So anyways,
Are you saying that the gravity is what causes everything to appear to be circular?
spherical, yes.
Or is it the density of the high and low pressures causing it to conform?
So the moon, there's no such thing as the density of the materials conforming the moon to be a sphere with high and low pressure. That makes literally zero sense.
So space being a vacuum is bunk to you?
I didn't say, so we're not invoking anything about space or pressure when we describe that an object's mass and the gravitational influence of it will deform it and force it to conform to a spherical shape. So there's nothing about pressure, high, low pressure, anything with a solid object being forced by gravity to conform to a sphere. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I kind of see both ways on it. It's like when you say that the moon could cause the tides, but also like when the astronauts are jumping around on the moon and they're just floating around, right? It doesn't make sense. It's either really strong, it could pull the water on the Earth up, but not hold the astronauts down, or there's another force.
What happens when the astronauts jump? What happens?
When the astronauts jump on the CGI videos?
Yeah, what happens?
They go up about 3 feet and they float down like a feather.
Not 3 feet. But so they go up, and then what happens after they go up?
They come back down.
So apparently gravity is strong enough to hold those astronauts.
Right, but it's also not it's also way stronger, being thousands and thousands of miles away, to be able to pull our water up.
What's the problem with that?
So how come it's like not so much gravity to them, but it's a lot of gravity to us here?
It's actually less gravity for us here because we're farther away than they are. Tides are caught. You're imagining that what the moon is doing is pulling on, like lifting the entire mass of the ocean, but that's not what it does. And so then if it can lift the oceans, which weigh, who the hell knows, billions, trillions of tons, then if you were to stand on the moon, you would be crushed because you weigh less than that and the moon can pull so hard. But that's not how gravity acts on an ocean. The surface waters are actually pulled. There's a significant, well, it's actually pretty subtle, but the pull that the moon has on the oceans is really microscopic, but the oceans are really huge. What happens is, because the moon's over here and the surface of the oceans is spread over a large area, on the outer edges, the direction, the vector, or whatever we want to call it, for that surface water to the moon is bent inward. So you get this kind of squeezing effect. And because the oceans are hundreds of thousands or millions, whatever they are, of square miles, that accumulated effect is what causes the tides. But most tides are actually pretty subtle.
So it has nothing to do with the rotation of the Earth. It's all the moon.
That tides occur, has nothing to do with the rotation of the Earth. The patterns of tides has quite a lot to do, almost everything to do with the rotation of the Earth, because the moon moves, by comparison, 30 times slower. But yeah.
Have you ever seen the 3 stars that are above the pyramids?
I've never been to the pyramids, but I've seen pictures.
Right. So, how could you explain over 4,500 years ago that those three stars remain in the same exact spot?
What does that even mean? That they remain in the same spot?
If we're flying through space at over 1,000,000 miles an hour, right, for 4,500 years, how do the stars always
Fucking Christ. Are the stars moving?
are we moving or are the stars moving?
We're already agreeing. We're starting with the position that we are moving. So then the question is, are the stars moving?
I would say everything is in motion.
Okay. And we're in rotation around the galaxy, right?
Right.
Okay. So let me ask you a slightly different question. Let's say you're in a car and the car is going 50 miles per hour, right?
Right.
So if you're in that car going 50 miles per hour and the car drives for 5 hours, how could you possibly be able to see your sister in the back seat? Because you're going 50 miles per hour and you've been traveling for 5 hours.
Well, my sister remains in one spot, as that's how it would happen if she was moving and she wasn't in the back seat at the whole time. Like if she
No,
was
she
moving
is
around.
in the back seat. So how are you able to see her?
Well, some of these stars are in different
The
solar
question
systems.
is, how are you able to see your sister in the back seat of the car if you've been traveling in the car for 5 hours at 50 miles per hour?
Well, she would be traveling around a different circular system.
Is your sister in the car with you?
She's not even there.
Okay. Goodbye, Will.